You ever just go on a website and go, man, maybe I need to buy that? Hey everybody, it's Cody, Dixon RC here. So, just like the intro said, have you ever just gone on a website and gone and seen something and went, man, I kind of want to buy that? Well, I had one of those moments. So, I'm an Integy dealer, Integy dealer, however you want to call, however you say their name. I am a dealer with them, and I do carry a couple of products with them. I don't carry everything because I know some of the stuff is probably not up to par with other products and manufacturers and things like that. I know that. You know that. It's okay. I carry certain things that I know sells well. Some of the brass stuff is really good. I got a couple of gear sets or gear like pinion gears and things like that. They seem to hold up pretty well as well. I've gotten in a couple axles. Their wheels seem to be hit or miss. You know, some of them seem to be really great. I've had a couple of them that are I know the screws are a little soft. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. So I was on there looking for just anything like normal set of wheels or stuff like that. So I'm scrolling through the new stuff like normal. I always check it occasionally just to see if there's something cool for you guys that I could possibly get that you may like, or something that looks pretty decent enough to buy, to try, to even just see if it's even worth the crap to even own or purchase or to sell to you. So I come across this, and this is crazy. It is they call it a custom ladder frame conversion kit. So it is basically a SCX10.2 based chassis rails with a front motor, divorce transfer case. It's got a battery tray in the very rear. And I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. It's like $160. It's all metal. It's got a metal panhard. It's already got metal shock towers. Of course, it's got a metal skid. That's kind of, yeah, but I mean, you get what you get. That's kind of how it goes. Now, it doesn't come with links. It doesn't come with axles. It doesn't come with body or wheels and tires. It does come with a motor. I couldn't believe that. It's kind of crazy. We'll get into that in a second. But it's like I was just scrolling through and I saw it and I was like, I should just buy this just to even see if it's worth the crap. Because it might be a good platform to have a front motor trail truck or a nice super scale rig. And I know it's not super scale, but it would get you a front motor because it's centered. I mean, you can't buy a chassis right now out on the market that's front motor in the center for $160. Now you could buy a 10.2 and buy the SSD or the GCM one that, of course, it's got overdrive and a transfer case, but it has a transfer case made to it. It's not divorced. So you kind of got, there's pros and cons to everything. So my worry with this particular chassis is the fact that the transmission is in the front and the gears inside of it. I haven't seen a listing for replacement gears for that or the transfer case yet. So that's kind of my worry with this. But what we're going to do, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to take it apart. We're going to look, see what kind of gears are in it, see if they're worth the crap. I know they're probably not, but we'll see. So I'm going to come around like always. You're going to be from the top. You're going to see what I'm doing, or maybe from the side. We'll see. I don't know. I may try something different. So it's pretty cool. It's $160. It is a complete, well, I'll take it out of the box so you can see it. So it does come packaged pretty well, really, for what it is. It is in a complete bag of pop bag. It does come with drive shafts. It comes with the drive shaft already installed from the motor to the transfer case, and it does come with the two for front axle and rear axle. It does come with miscellaneous bolts and spacers and O-rings and battery tie downs, and then this is it. It's all metal, everything. So yeah, so here it is. So it is a steel chassis, just like it looks. I mean, it's a copy of a 10.2 chassis rail. I mean, that's not really a big deal there. You see it's got the aluminum cross brace in the rear. It's got an aluminum skid, aluminum front bumper mount with a servo mount as well. Then of course, aluminum shock towers with a panhard. With a body mount as well. The rear is just a shock tower, and it is a very low shock tower as well. No body mount back there. Of course, it has the battery tray hooked to that there, and of course a rear mount as well. and it looks to be the 43 millimeter normal 10.2 bumper mount as well. It comes with nuts and bolts for the links. I'm assuming it probably has something for the center. I can't really tell if it has the set screw. It doesn't look like it has any set screws for the... Okay, so instead of it being a set screw for the lower links, looks like the hole is gouged out enough to where a normal button head screw fits in it. So it would technically you just have a button head screw in there to hold your lower links on. That's pretty cool. I like it. The only thing I've noticed, it does come with so it also does come with a what they call a tune machine. I thought this is that, yeah, Snow Panther Hobby. It's a 45 turn, which is really high turn. But it does have a motor with motor leads. I mean, you don't really see that very often at all. The only thing I think you can see it from here is how crooked this thing seems to sit. And it looks like it might be this brace that goes across here. Is like it needs to be just moved a little bit. So we'll see. But of course, that's the soft metal. So that's what you get kind of sometimes when you get this kind of stuff. So just hang tight. We're going to roll over here. We'll go over the things in the bags and we'll start taking stuff apart. I'll take the transfer case off, take it apart, and we'll see what the inside of it looks like so we can see if it's even worth the crap. Maybe it does look like it's grease because I see grease on the outside of the motor here. So we'll do that. Just hang tight. All right, so we're back. So we'll go over the bag stuff first. Nothing to it. Battery straps, a couple of spacers, a couple of washers for the shocks. Of course, you get all your nuts and bolts, or excuse me, not nuts, but all your bolts for all the different random things you're going to attach to this, such as shocks, things like that. It's got some really tiny screws in here, little bitty button heads in here. I'm not really sure what those are for, but anyway. So let's take out one of these drive shafts. These are just a normal center spline. They're a little beefy though. I mean, I will say that's not too bad. You probably got a high chance of being able to center those as well so they're in line, in phase, so to speak. The only downside I can see with this is, yeah, see it has a, let's see, let me grab one of these set screws here. Instead of it having a pass-through screw that holds it to the transfer case here, it has a sort of a knurled set screw. See, it's got that part sticking out of it right there. That's what actually goes in and touches. It's actually not a bad, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's actually not a bad idea now that I sit here and think about it and have looked at it, because that little piece will fit inside of the hole that's in the transfer case there. So it looks like only this one has one holding it in. So it did have a little bit of Loctite on it as well. Let's see if I can get it in there. You can see a little bit of Loctite on that. That's good because that's kind of a rare thing. You don't really see that too often. And of course I'm using my trusty Dixieland driver. It fits all 1/4 inch bits. It's magnet as well. It magnetizes the bits in. It doesn't magnetize the screws. So that's not going to come off. So hopefully we'll take, we're going to take this transfer case off real quick. This is metal to metal, so let's see if it actually had some stuff on it. Yeah, well, it's got grease on the end of it. There's no thread locker on there though, so probably a good idea to go through and thread lock that as well. Make sure to remember the smaller screws goes on the outside. All right, so we've done that. Let's take that off there. I could have left that one in there. All right, so let's get back to this little set screw here. So the set screw goes in, and you see the little indentation, and what it'll do is it will fit inside, see? So you get not full engagement, probably a better idea, and I don't think you can, to put one on each side of this thing, but I don't think you're gonna be able to do that, no. So these particular drive shafts are set up to have one of these kind of bolts holding it in. See, it's set screw with a long shank on it that goes through it. This isn't the exact one, but it's a very similar one. So, I mean, I really do think this will work, and if you're not doing anything crazy, I think it'll be fine. But that's, again, your preference as well. Also, you don't have to use these drive shafts either. That is, this one, I can't see there's no size on it, so I can't tell you what size it is. But All right, so let's take this transfer case apart. Looks like it's held in with three bolts. So let's do that. Hopefully we don't break the screws because Chinese pot metal. This is thread locked together, which is amazing, but it does actually have some thread locker on it. Good for them. Better than I expected. I did not expect it to have it. I'm assuming this is just going to be a simple 3-gear transfer case. Nothing crazy, nothing off the wall as far as how it's built. So I'm just going off an assumption here, but I'm assuming that's probably what this is going to be. Probably just like the Boom transfer case with a different case, because I don't think this looks like the Boom one. Good thing about it is if this is the particular deal, like you can actually set it up and have Boom's anti-torque twist transfer case, which is it's a nice transfer case. Just spins the rear. I think it spins the rear axle a different way. All right, so we got those out. All right, so let's take this thing apart. So how I got it apart was I put a long screw in there and hit the head of it, because that works the majority of the time. All right, so it does have grease in it. I kind of figured it would, but I didn't know for sure. It is just a simple, normal 3-gear setup. It looks to have steel gears in it, so that's good. The problem I can see already, it has, instead of a bearing, it has a brass bushing in between each one of these. It does look to have 3 different kind of bearings inside of there. So it's got a green shielded bearing, a black shielded bearing. It looks like a brass bearing, brass shielded one on that end. So that's that. I figured as much. I didn't figure it would be super great. It does not, I mean, you could put more grease in there, but that's probably good enough for depending on what you're planning on doing with it. But I mean, that's better than I thought it was going to be. I did not expect it to have thread locker holding this together. I did not expect it to have grease in it, and I did not expect it to actually have metal gears. I expected them to probably either be plastic or some kind of inferior pot metal. That was kind of where I was at with that. And yes, I will re-thread lock this before I use it. I just doing for sake of time, I'm doing it this way. So bear with me. So let's get this motor off of here. Not the motor, but let's get the front engine off. Looks like you could possibly take those two. I'm going to use my MIP ball end, and it's a 2.5. Shows me what I know. So let's see if we can get this thing out of here. Looks like these are the only 2 bolts that hold this thing together. Man, look at that. It's thread locked as well. That's crazy. Would never have thought it. I hate to say it, but I just never would have thought that. So I'm going to say this mount's probably bent because, yeah, you can see it kind of warped. It goes down that way, yeah. So that's why the motor's not in there straight. So this thing is wild. You guys let me know if this is used in some other Chinese build, something or another. I don't think I've ever seen it, so that's why I'm kind of baffled by it, because I've never seen it in anything. So I'm kind of just wondering. Also wonder if this is how this motor comes out of here. And it looks like it is. It looks like there's a center. Golly, I hate they use different screws for every single thing. So this thing is out. I got it out. It's ready to go. So reason why I've never seen anything like this before is 'cause this is one of those planetary gear reduction unit things. I don't quite know what it is, if it's 10 to 1 or 3 to 1 or whatever it is, but the case, it's a normal, just an aluminum case that, that's how that spins inside there. So that hence why it comes with a motor and it's already ready to go. Now, I may take this thing apart. I don't know if I really want to, but yeah, see, there you go. So see, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know much about these. I'm not very well versed in them. So I'm not going to lie to you and tell you anything about them because I don't know anything about them. So I'll let somebody else come in the comments and tell you something about them or whatever. I do know that this planetary, I say planetary gear because that's kind of the way that's designed there, but this gear reduction unit was a pretty big deal back in the day by that, he's got an RC channel, he's had one for a long time. I don't remember I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but that's where this really started. He came up with a mount and then using the Team Raffy, it bolted in like this and you put your motor and you had a front motor, but it just didn't look like a motor. Hence why there's this makes it look very similar to a motor setup, and plus you can slide your motor over this to have a motor, a legit front motor. So this may be a kicker for you guys, because gear reduction, if I remember correctly, that's why there's a 45 turn in here, because you've got to put some torque in it to get it to do what it's supposed to do. If I remember correctly, these gear, oh, hey, all right, so I took off the whole thing. So this is the part that bolts to the motor. And then of course it has the gears in here. Well, I think when you go, it pushes these out and then it pushes these gears out, and then it makes this turn inside of here, which in turn turns that and turns that. I think, like I say, I'm not well versed in it, so I'm not, going to sit there and tell you that I know what I'm talking about, because I probably don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest. So there's that. So we got that. So here, let's look at all the rest of the stuff. Of course, the aluminum cross brace in the back, the rear mount. This is all the normal aluminum stuff that comes in pretty much everybody's aftermarket stuff. Of course, you get shock towers. These are a little short shock tower. That is a very short shock tower compared to others. Of course, the battery tray. Of course, your metal transfer case. You probably use any kind of transfer case you want to in here if the bolt pattern's the same. We'll have to look at that. I don't think I have another transfer case here to try out. Anyway, so then of course you get your front brace, which is actually so you can kind of see inside there, you can see a bolt. Yeah, you can see a bolt right there. See the bolt head right here? That bolts into these braces here that bolts the front shock towers in. So that's how it does that, and that's probably why you can see it bent, man. It's so bent. So that shouldn't be too hard to fix, I wouldn't think. And of course you get a front mount for bumper, and then for your servo as well. Servo, if you have a front servo, you do get a panel hard mount as well. Most all this stuff is legit 3mm hardware, so that's good. So there's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this is a little bit different as far as me showing you something that's I may not ever even keep, because that may be the case. I may not even stock this. You guys let me know in the comments if you kind of like the idea of this. I can get a couple in and sell them. I like it. I think it's cool. I think if you've got a set of axles and some links and stuff, you could throw together a decent little kit for not a whole lot of money. I guess kind of not though, because this is $160, but you don't have to go out and source the front motor and the transfer case, and you could put that in and then put your 3D printed motor right here to match whatever it is you're building. And all these line up. This is all the same as the regular SCX10 or 10.2. So there you go. So that's a lot of stuff included. It's $160. It's $159.99 actually, plus a little bit of freight, probably $10 in freight for priority mail, because it's too heavy to ship regular mail. So there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Let me know how you like it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Pretty much I think the algorithm wants you to subscribe and hit the bell. I know I told you I don't really care if you hit the bell, but if you could, that'd be great. I know I don't make a whole lot of videos very often, but I try to make some when I can. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.